Hi, I'm Michelle from Pure Electric, and in this video I'll be taking a closer look at the all-new and more affordable Xiaomi Essential. But before we get started, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and click that little bell icon to get notified when we upload new content. If you're unfamiliar with the Essential, it's the all-new budget-friendly e-scooter from Xiaomi. It made a big splash upon its release, although many have been asking, is it a good option for new riders or those on a budget, or have the cost savings made it too much of a compromise? To find out, I'll first go over the spec, then how it rides, what I'd change, and finally my conclusions. First up, how budget-friendly is the Essential? Well, at the time of recording, it sells for £389. That's about 110 less than the 1S and 210 less than the Pro 2. So there is some decent savings to be had, but be sure to check the links in the description below for the latest pricing. Now, let's take a look under the hood to see what you get for your money. With the maximum speed of the Essential capped at 12.4 miles per hour, it lacks a little at the top end compared to the 15.5 miles per hour you see on most e-scooters. And at 250 watts, the motor has a relatively low power rating, but the Essential makes up for these perceived shortcomings with a lower weight of 12 kilograms and the aforementioned price. This means it could be the perfect e-scooter that's easy to carry when needed. Some of the weight savings comes from the smaller battery, which has 183 watt-hour capacity, giving a claimed range of 12.5 miles, or 20 kilometers. This is a similar range to the rival 9-watt E22e, although it's always worth bearing in mind range estimates are set in optimal conditions, so in real life you will usually get less. But 12.5 miles should be all good for shorter city center commutes. And as the battery is on the smaller side, it only takes 3.5 hours to charge from empty. The Essential has 3 modes. There's pedestrian, which maxes out at 3 miles an hour, standard, which goes up to 9.3 miles an hour, and sport, which takes you up to the top speed of 12.4 miles per hour. Just like the other 2 models in the Xiaomi lineup, you get the same water resistance rating of IP54, a bell, integrated display, and built-in Bluetooth. When the Bluetooth is paired with the Xiaomi My Home app, it gives you some handy features, like a remote locking system, which to deter theft, locks the scooter's brakes and causes it to beep if moved. In order to make sure the onboard computer is always up to date, the app will manage any firmware updates and allow you to turn on or off cruise control, as well as track your ride info. For their latest range of e-scooters, Xiaomi seem to have focused on rider safety instead of adding bells and whistles. On the Essential, you'll find a 2-watt output front LED light, which gives good visibility in the dark. It's also been angled down to prevent dazzling those around you. At the rear, you'll also find LED lights, which include a built-in reflector. The front and sides also feature reflectors, and these bring the scooter bang up to date with the latest standards circulating around Europe and the UK. So that's what this e-scooter is made up of. Let's get on to the important bit, how it rides. The Essential has a solid feel to it with a decent-sized platform that's grippy enough to give a stable feel underfoot. Just like the 1S and Pro 2, it has 8.5-inch air-filled tires. These help smooth out the bumps and are far more comfortable when compared to solid tires. If you'd like to know more about air-filled versus solid tires, there's a link appearing about now to take you to just such a video. Another new feature is the stays built onto the rear mudguard. These are great for reducing chatter and noise when going over rough surfaces. But crucially, they also protect the Essential from one of the most common return issues: people incorrectly standing on the mudguard. These stays work so well at protecting the rear mudguard, our customer service team have already seen a reduction in returns for this issue. So it goes to show brands actually listen to customer feedback in a bid to make their products better. Off the start, the motor kicks in relatively gently when compared to the more powerful 1S and Pro 2 models. I actually like this, as the Pro 2 sometimes feels a little jerky when putting the power down. I think this is a great feature for beginners. The reduced top speed and controllable power mean the Essential shouldn't have any surprises when you first step on it. However, the overall ride experience of this electric scooter will be affected by rider weight, as it lacks the power of the other two models with the aforementioned less powerful 250-watt motor and smaller battery capacity. For context, I weigh around 56 kilograms. Now you know. And during our hill test, I found I could make it up the hill slowly. However, my colleagues, who are heavier than me, but are by no means large, struggled. So, for those of you who carry a lot, or are on the heavier side, or have some steep hills to get up, you may want to consider looking at the 1S or Pro 2 for the extra power. However, some compromises are to be expected considering the price, weight, and power of this e-scooter, so I wasn't exactly expecting larger riders to fly up the hill on the Essential. Folding it down for storing and carrying is quick and simple. All you need to do is undo the latch, fold it down, and then use the hook integrated into the bell to secure it for carrying. Like the other two models, it has a kinetic energy recovery system. This system recovers energy when braking, and Xiaomi claim it's now more efficient, which should mean increasing range for you. Which brings me to stopping. The Essential uses a combination of a front electronic anti-locking brake and a rear disc brake, which are both activated at the same time. I found the Essential had a tendency to skid when the brakes are pulled hard, so it's worth bearing in mind unless you're doing an emergency stop, they may require some modulation. However, when you do modify how hard to pull on the brakes, stopping feels very controlled. A tip for those new to e-scooters, it's always worth getting to know your e-scooter's brakes well so that you'll know how it will react in different situations. On to the things I'd change, but there aren't many. First up, the grips. This e-scooter comes with pretty standard foam ones and they aren't my favorite. Although new grips would be an easy, inexpensive, do-it-yourself upgrade. Another thing I think could use improving is the IP rating. The Xiaomi e-scooters all have an IP54 rating, which means it's not waterproof enough to ride in the rain, and you'll void your warranty if you do. This is a real bummer for life here in the UK and anyone looking to ride their e-scooter in wet conditions. So, who do I think the Essential is for? Well, Xiaomi are well known for making some of the most popular e-scooters around, so it's certainly for someone looking for an established brand. The affordability makes it great for those on a budget, and the low weight makes it great for those who regularly need to carry their e-scooter, or if you have to bring it up or downstairs. The lower power makes it a great option for beginners, or for riders who don't require the higher top speed of 15.5 miles per hour. However, the lower power does mean heavier riders will struggle on hills. So, if you're in that camp, it may be worth looking at the more powerful 1S and Pro 2 models. So, in summary, first impressions of the Essential are very good. Like its predecessors, it looks to be a quality piece of kit, and I suspect one we'll all be seeing a lot more of in the future. If you have any questions, leave those in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that bell icon so you get notified every time we upload a new video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. Goodbye! Do not use that.